Innovation has long been synonymous with the UK and its manufacturing base. However, like most countries, commercializing this innovation and reaping the reward has been a critical weakness. With all the global challenges and opportunities facing manufacturers, it's vital to turn this weakness into a strength. With the rapid growth in the automotive industry, ensuring a local battery supply has become a basic requirement for EV manufacturers who are seeking to lower EV prices as much as possible in order to capitalize on demand by appealing to a wide array of customers. Since the battery makes up 40 to 60% of the cost of an EV, producing batteries locally is one way to achieve lower EV price and ensure that you have apt supply to meet your production targets. Unfortunately, the story of the UK battery industry has been a sad one, beginning with the recent collapse of lithium and sodium-ion battery manufacturer Britishvolt. Perhaps more frightening is the fact that another battery maker, Amte Power, may be facing the same fate if it does not get additional funding to stay afloat. An absence of domestic battery manufacturing could essentially sink the UK's car industry, which accounts for 10% of total exports and employs 182,000 people. What could this mean for millions of Britons and the future of the UK's electric vehicle industry? Hello friends, and welcome to the Electrochemist. Thank you for tuning into the channel. On this channel, we discuss all things battery development, including existing batteries, new and emerging battery systems, battery supply chain, battery production, and battery application. If this is something that interests you, please subscribe to this channel, smash the like button, and keep watching. The global demand for batteries has been growing at a very rapid pace, and this is the case in the EU with about 35 gigaplants being built or under construction in the EU. For the UK, demand is forecasted at 100 gigawatt hours of batteries per year by 2040, requiring around 10 gigafactories according to the Faraday report. Of that, only 1.9 gigawatt hours of capacity is currently operational, and that is run by Envision AESC and is supplying Nissan Sunderland car plant. The UK is currently home to only one EV battery plant, a Chinese-owned facility next to the Nissan plant in Sunderland, where all the electric Leaf is built. Only two mainstream EVs are currently built in the UK, the Leaf and the Mini Electric. This means that lithium battery manufacturing in the UK was low and expanding slowly, and EV battery demand was only expected to rise significantly. Yes, this was a big opportunity for battery manufacturers, and perhaps this was the opportunity the founders of Britishvolt saw, but the company failed so miserably. Britishvolt had aimed to open its first £3.8 billion gigafactory in the north of England, with construction at the Northumberland site begun in 2021, and had trumpeted plans for a second factory in Canada. The UK government had heaped praise on the company and promised £100 million in support of key milestones if key milestones were reached. But when the firm ran into financial difficulties last year, the government refused to grant early access to its promised funds as its condition had not been met. Although the project was shifted from Wales, where it had the support of the Wales government, to Bleat in Northumberland, which was a political move to attract funding, work at the former power station in Bleat had barely started. After running out of funds in mid-late 2022, Britishvolt scrambled to attract enough investment to continue operating. It eventually entered administration in January, with most of its 300 staff made redundant. At the end of February, Australian firm Recharge Industries agreed to buy the firm's assets and technology and take on its remaining employees. It would be too easy to just blame all the issues of Britishvolt on the government. I mean, that's what we all do when things don't go our way, isn't it? We blame the government. But the truth is that there were other reasons for Britishvolt's demise. Firstly, according to Professor David Bailey of Business Economics at the University of Birmingham, UK, and an authority on the UK automotive sector, the company had no track record in developing technology, and it was never clear where the £3.8 billion for building the gigafactory was going to come from. Moreover, Britishvolt had no big customer agreements lined up to buy its batteries and secure steady revenue, so it was set up to fail. Because demand and supply work hand in hand, there were also allegations of overspending, like they rented a £2.8 million mansion for executives, flew private jets, sponsorship at Goodwood, office in Mayfair, and in terms of staffing, £3 million a month was spent on payroll, 150 employees, yet no product. they appear to depend on a never-ending flow of money from the capital markets to cover running costs, relying on a combination of patriotism, green energy, enthusiasm, and government financial support that was ultimately and rightly insufficient. So sorry friends, everything is not the government's fault, and some industry experts are beginning to say that another battery maker may be next in line to go down like Britishvolt. The recent admission by Amte Power that they were running out of funds seemed to suggest that the company may soon be closing its doors. Scottish lithium and sodium-ion battery maker Amte Power said it's considering all credible options, including a sale of the company, as it works to raise cash to secure its operations. In an update to the London Stock Exchange alternate investment market, the company said it remains in ongoing discussions with potential investors about raising further finance, as per the statement it made on 15 June, when it warned investors that they were at risk of being wiped out unless the company secures fresh financing, with cash reserves running on empty as it looks to bring products to market. Well, as time has moved on, the company is now considering all credible options, including a sale of its business, in order to act in the best interest of all stakeholders in the company. There can be no certainty of the outcome of these discussions, it added. Accordingly, in light of Amte Power's reducing cash position, should the company be unable to secure additional funding within no less than the next 3 weeks, the prospects of recovery of value, if any, by shareholders will be uncertain, it said. Since then, there have been no announcements over funding, with Amte Power confirming a 4-week deadline to secure the funds. The deadline could come as soon as 12th of July, placing a ticking clock under the company's negotiations with investors. The London-listed company shares have plummeted since the announcement, dropping from 51 pence per share to 6 pence per share in the course of just 11 days, and it continues to fall because investors are selling their shares. The company now faces a nervous wait to see if the government or private investors will step in to offer more funds for what a vital cog in the UK's early-stage electric vehicle industry and energy operations could be. The company previously made plans for a gigafactory at the former Michelin's tire plant in Dundee, which hopes to create more than 200 jobs by the end of the decade. But it looks like this is just a pie in the sky because it's obvious the company is in big trouble. The company previously warned it was considering shifting manufacturing from the UK to the US to benefit from subsidies in the Inflation Reduction Act. To sustain operations, Amte Power drew down a £580,000 loan facility from Highlands, an enterprise, in March, and £1 million from its convertible loan facility with its institutional asset manager, Arena Investors, in April of this year. For now, Arena Investors and the UK government have not responded to requests for comment on whether they would intervene to provide support to the company, so it leaves a lot of questions about the future of the company. Looking at these two companies and their challenges with scaling up their technology, and giving my perspective as a battery engineer who has been in the industry for some years now, I would say the story of Britishvolt and Amte Power has shown that a promising technology can only get you so far when it comes to scaling up in the battery sector. To achieve a successful and profitable gigawatt-scale cell production, you need a clear strategic vision directed by visionary leadership, the right partners as it relates to investors, technology suppliers, joint developers, etc. A cohesive team of sound engineers and experts all pulling in the same direction, a whole lot of money, and a network of assured customers who have committed to buying the cells you'll be producing. To compare these companies to Elon Musk and Tesla, unlike Britishvolt, Elon Musk partnered with Panasonic and its significant expertise in battery technology. He had assured order flow from Tesla, a successful track record of entrepreneurship from different companies he successfully grew, so he was able to get his gigafactory up and running at least partially quickly. With respect to the UK, electrification of transport and other emissions reduction activities could suffer if the UK doesn't get its act together. It goes back to energy security. If you don't control that part of the supply chain, you are at the whim of other countries such as China. Yes, the government must support these companies, but a lot of the work is on the leadership and the strategy. I would love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about the story of Britishvolt and the future of Amte Power? Do you think these companies can successfully scale up their technology? Please drop us a comment if you've enjoyed this video. Show your support by smashing the like button, share this video, and make sure to subscribe to this channel. I love you, I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.